Hello, beautiful. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Okay, so I recently had a chat with a friend of mine, and we were just talking about like our life experiences and what we went through as young women. And we got to a point where we were talking about girls that didn't like us. Okay, for the beautiful women around the world, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, just women not liking you because of your beauty. And this could just be like beauty on all aspects, you know, because I do believe that beauty starts from within. Okay, and it shines to the outside. So you know, if you think you're beautiful, you know you're beautiful, then you know this video is for you. Okay, I felt like it was a great topic of discussion for the beautiful ladies out there, and just what to avoid when it comes to friendships or even like relationships. Okay, because it can really be detrimental to our future if we don't find the right people to hang with and be inspired by. You know, it could really deteriorate us from our path, okay, and what we're really meant to accomplish. Okay, if you have a group of friends, or if you're hanging around a group of women, make sure that you're equally yoked, because you might be onto like, you might have different dreams, things that you want to accomplish, and then the company that you hang around with, they're just like deadbeats, just, you know, want to do the same thing every day. They have no ambition, no drive for their future, and then it kind of puts you in a position where you're just like, damn, either I stay here and I let these low lives, quote, influence my future, or I get on and become what I'm supposed to become, or find people that are like-minded like me, right? It's just like if you're in a certain profession, you want to hang around people that you have something in common with, because a lot of people that may not understand your profession or your field of work, they're not going to really understand you. And sometimes people make fun of things that they don't understand, or kind of like, you know, downplay things that they don't understand. Okay, so it just brings me back to my point. All right, if you're a beautiful woman, if you take care of yourself, if you care about your looks, if you like to get dressed up, if you wear makeup, you know, do your hair, I would suggest that you hang around women that are the same and like the same thing, or even like the same hobbies or whatever, because those are the people that are going to keep you motivated, inspired. You know, you guys will understand each other more than a woman that doesn't do those things, right? And you're not going to feel like you're in the wrong, like you're doing something wrong, just by being yourself. Okay, so always try to hang around with like-minded people, and you know, they will see that, or you'll see the purpose in your life more when you hang around with people that do the same thing or share the same interests as you do. And I just made a choice, you know, like I prayed about it, like, and I was just like, that's it. Like, I want to hang around with girls that look like me or whatever, you know, beautiful women, because women that think that they're not beautiful, you know, they tend to try to bring you down to their level and make you insecure like them. Like, for example, if you're hanging around certain type of women and they're secretly, like, they secretly don't like you, but they want to keep you around to leech off of your energy and to bring you down to their level. Like, you know, they say misery loves company. And, you know, they'll just say certain things, and they'll keep like picking at your flaws, or they'll just say certain things. You know it's not like that, but they keep saying it, and you're just like, you know, and then eventually it just sits in your mind, and it sits in your subconscious, and then you start to believe it. You know, even though you know it's not the way that goes, because you're always hearing it, or because someone's constantly digging at your flaws or the things that you don't even notice, then you're just like, okay, damn, like, you know, maybe they're right. You know, but meanwhile, that was their actual plot to make you insecure just like they are. And then once you start to believe these things, you start to think of yourself in a different way. You start seeing yourself in a different way, and you start believing these things. And then it just makes you feel like them eventually. So I started at a really young age, and then until the point where I got to grade school, like I got to high school, and I was just like doing my own thing. You know, people always used to look at me sideways, like, oh, she thinks she's too good. And it's just like, no, like, you know, my experiences with girls over the years hasn't been a good one. Like, I even started working at a very young age. I started working at 14. I had like 2 jobs, and I was just like doing my own thing because I just didn't have anything, or I felt like I didn't have anything in common with girls, especially girls my age. Like, we never got along, right? That's how I felt, because I felt like they always had a problem with me. And then I started hanging around with older women. Like, even when I was younger, I just hung around with older women because I felt like they were less, you know, judgmental, or they were just more mature. And I felt like I had more in common with them opposed to like the other girls, like the girls my age or younger than me. But I always found myself hanging around older women, like more mature women. And then, you know, I gained like some other friends. You know, you think that you're friends and you think you're cool, and then, you know, they stab you in the back or they betray you. And then you just get to a point where you're just like, I have to start hanging around with women that are like me. Okay, so you know, women that are confident, secure with themselves, you know, get into the bag, you know, whatever I felt like I was doing, I wanted women that we had more, or that I had more in common with, to be associated with. I felt like when I hung around with women that were not like me, it just brought down my energy. It brought down my value. I felt like I was selling myself short, and I felt like I was getting deteriorated from my path. You know, who you hang with on a daily basis, who you speak with and interact with on a daily basis can definitely determine your future. Now, the energy that people give you can really rub off on you. Okay, if it's positive, good energy, if it's negative, bad energy, it can stick with you, especially if you either encounter these people every day, or you talk to these people over the phone, if you have friends that you speak to over the phone, or that you see and hang with. It could really set the tone for the way that you, or how you feel about yourself. And sometimes you don't realize the things that people are doing to you that can really cause you to think a certain way or a different way about yourself. You might not want to, but if it's constantly being thrown at you, you start subconsciously looking at things, or maybe even yourself, in a different way. So don't forget to leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.